welcome to our Board of Commissioner meeting for 14 of 26 here at 9:01. I would like to do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And this meeting will be live streamed on the Rio Blanco County YouTube channel. And do we have anyone for public comment? Okay, just a moment. I just wanted to make sure we did, so I'll be right with you. Okay. So public comment period. Any member of the public may address the board on matters which are within the jurisdiction of the board. We request that you limit your comments to 3 minutes per person or 5 minutes per group. The public comment time is your opportunity for you to express your views and is not for questions and answers. No comments or questions shall be directed to staff or other members of the public. If any member of the public would like to comment at this time, please state your name, who you are, who you represent for the record. So now you may come on up, please, sir. Yes, go ahead and come on up, sit in one of the chairs there. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're back there a little bit. You're not tall like Leaf would get it. So, okay. Yes, sir.
My name is J.H. Sheridan. I'm just here as an individual. I saw on Facebook, so it must be true that you were looking at comments this morning on term limits for county officials. And I would just like to say this morning that for county elected officials, you know, the commissioners, and just what's this assembly, I guess. I think that we have the voting every 4 years, and we, you know, eliminate, or I don't say eliminate, maybe vote people out of office if there's a problem. I think term limits just limits the people who run for office. I think there's a lady, well, I think the clerk and recorder over here, if term limited, I'm not sure, you know, that she would be retirement age, but I think you would get people, and maybe she would be, maybe you're it's very nice retirement in the county.
You're getting the hot water.
What's that?
You're getting the hot water.
I know. But anyway, I think it would just allow for people to run for public office. I think the way that the county is now, there are some positions that are term limited and some are not from a previous elections. And I think that's confusing to the people. I believe the assessor is term limited. People think that Renee was leaving because she was term limited, but I think she was grandfathered in, so it's not term limited, but that office is. So there might be some confusion on that maybe you can clear up with the ballot. I don't know, transparency wise, if you just put blanket all county offices as opposed to, I think last time there were individuals, but an individual vote for each office. I just want to express my support for removing term limits for county elected offices. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, anybody else? Come on up.
You really can't stand here, can you? Well, I'd like to second, my name's Rich Ford, I'd like to second what was just spoken about. And I would agree that, especially when it comes to the assessor, the clerk and recorder, treasurer, these are professional level positions that require years of training and knowledge. I think it's a disservice to the taxpayer. It costs us financially, measure that we remove that limitation that we have to vote every 4 years, and we end up having them campaigning instead of being able to do their job. I'd rather see them in the office do what they do best. So I would be in favor of moving that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyone else in the room? All righty. Anyone online who would like to make public comment? I do not see any others. So moving on, the tentative agenda was posted at the Rio Blanco County Courthouse here at 555 Main Street in the town of Rangeley, or Rangeley Town Hall, 209 Main Street. And this final agenda is provided for informational purposes only. All times are approximate. Agenda items are normally considered in the order they appear on the agenda. However, due to the size of the agenda or time constraints, the board may alter the order of the agenda, take breaks during the meeting, work through the noon hour, and even continue an item for a future date. The board, while in session, may consider other items that are brought before it. Scheduled items may be continued if the board is unable to complete the agenda as scheduled. So if there, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda if there are no changes.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as written. Sean, would you mind calling the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
All righty, moving on to the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the below listed items of the consent agenda that include payroll management for March 27th, 2026, accounts payable management, March 2026, motor vehicle DMV report, March 2026, DHS EBT register and warrant register for March 2026, CCAP MOU for the Colorado Child Care Assistance Program, HCPF Medicaid new rule implementation grant project, and letter of support for the State Recovery Task Force.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Please call the roll.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
All righty. We will now move into the public hearing section, I should say. Leaf, if you want to come on up.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty.
Take me just a second here to do my trick or treat job and hand out food. Watch my melon.
Doesn't want to play basketball or something in the middle of the court.
Does it, well? It's like, I won't say it.
Okay.
I'll say something I shouldn't have. We don't
Glad
want
you
to go.
didn't.
Yeah, me too. So
Thank
these will represent the three issues that we have during today.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're a giver.
I'm a giver. That's what I do. Okay. Where would you like to start? I don't know what the first item on your agenda is. Is it Madam? Can I ask a question? Is it Madam Chair, Chairwoman, Callie? How would you like to be addressed?
How about Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, what is our first item?
First item on the agenda is the healing centers.
The healing centers. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. That'll get Ed's here. Appreciate it. All right, I'll start with the staff report and we'll go through that. We had an application from within. This is an internal application dictated by the state to address natural healing centers and their locale geographically, where they can be located within the county jurisdiction. So we met in Rangeley, the Planning Commission, as well as Meeker. We had two separate meetings. We reviewed it for compliance with the state I believe it's a statute, a House bill, or I can't remember what it is, to be honest with you, but it's a statute. Thank you. That requires us to allow these healing centers within our jurisdiction, but we do have the ability to restrict and locate them as we see fit for our communities and our jurisdiction. So with that, we met Rangeley, Meeker. We had actually no public input other than Mr. Ed Peck, who offered a letter that you'll see in your little packet that I gave you. It's a 3-pager, and rather than me read it, with your permission, Madam Chair, I will allow Ed to speak on this from his perspective and probably summarize it much better than I could do.
Please, can I interrupt you for a
Yes,
second?
sir.
Just for the public's sake, can you explain what a healing center is?
I can. Well, this is the world according to Leaf, by the way, so take it through a big filter. A healing center is a location that allows, and I want to use the term substance. I don't know if that's correct. Mushrooms, a few other medically issued medications that allow people to deal with certain pains, whether that be physical pain, whether it be mental pain, whether it be whatever, in a controlled environment. And so what that means is you cannot consume these publicly outside, legally rather, outside of these medical centers. They must be consumed within the center. They must be the patients or the people that are consuming these medicines must do that, recover fully, be able to function in society prior to leaving the facility. So does that help? Is that kind of what
Yeah,
and I'm sorry
Thank you.
for the lack of knowledge on this, because it is a bit ambiguous as to what this stuff really is and what it can. From my perspective.
And if I might add, it actually was through a proposition. So it was a ballot initiative. That's what
Ballot
brought that to us.
Oh, yes.
So in 22, so it's been a process, but here we are. And they did define it so that local control could not deny them totally.
Yes. Well, thank you. Well stated. That's probably much better clarification. So what we did, we started just a little bit of history on what we did internally. We started with geographic location. We said that we would like to have these within 5 miles of a recognized and officially recognized hospital. We would like to limit them to certain zoning areas within the county. Again, this is unincorporated county. We don't have control over the local jurisdictions, town of Rangeley, town of Meeker. So we said originally that we were going to put them in commercial and industrial zone ground within 5 miles of a hospital. That allowed the construction of a healing center in certain locations. It did not prohibit them, meaning it didn't make them spatially outlawed, if you will. A nifty little term I just dreamed up. But that being said, we had Mr. Ed Peck, who brought us some suggestions, and I say us, the Planning Commission. They were heard and they were agreed that these suggestions be incorporated into our restrictions and our areas and how we control these locales. So I will, again, I'll let Ed kind of address that, but what you see in front of you with the blue letter is the final document that includes Ed's suggestions. It's basically a very close copy of what the town of Meeker chose to follow and write. And by the way, hats off to Carly Thompson, the Meeker town planner, who did an absolutely wonderful job of researching this, probably to the nth degree. Carly's quite intelligent, and her suggestions made a lot of sense to our planning commission, as well as Mr. Peck, and I'm sure he might want to add a few more on top of this. I don't know. I want to speak for you, but so there you have it. That's kind of the background on it. The planning commission voted 5 in favor, 0 opposed, at the final meeting to approve the document that's in front of you today. Planning staff recommends approval. It was pretty well scrutinized and gone through, and the public did have an opportunity to comment and did so. So that is my recommendation.
Thank you very much. So because I haven't had the chance to have someone speak at these, is now our best time to do this? Rose, do we want to go ahead and have our public speak at this point on this issue? Is that accurate?
Yes, if staff has finished their presentation, then you can open up the public hearing to the public. I don't know if there's public in the room, but just make sure that they have signed a sign-up sheet with Sean so that she can document which public is in the room, or if there's anyone online, although it doesn't look like from my view. So yes, this would be public's time to speak. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So yes, Ed, if you would like to come up and we'll get a sign-up sheet. So if you haven't already, so that you can get that written, but come on up, sir.
Hi, my name is Edmund Peck, and this is my soapbox on this. I think more people would be here if they really understood what was coming up in July. But it's been flying under the radar for 2 years, and you have read enough on this. It started out as Proposition, I think, 122, and they were very careful to exclude any sort of local forbidding of these 5 hallucinogenic drugs from the county or city level or at all. They learned their lessons with pot because we were able to keep it out of that. So that said, we can't keep it out. We can make sure that if they do get here, we should be in place for safety, to promote the health, the safety, and the general welfare of our residents on this. I think the proposal so far has done a really fine job of that. For the record, it started as a proposition. As soon as they approved it, they handed it off to the regulatory agencies to build 108 pages worth of extra words. It is covered by Colorado Revised Statutes 213-1 and a bunch of others. It goes on and on and on. Anyway, that's what we're working around. They have allowed us very kindly at the local level to do things like limit the number of hours, operations, zoning laws especially, and this is our main tool for doing this. But we can also touch on any other safety issues such as fire or security. The centers already have requirement at state level to have video monitoring 24/7. So I think that is a wonderful thing. It does not require reporting the fire through that system to our local people. I can get by with that. But what I would like to see is one step farther on the health and standards, to have fire suppressant system as part of our regulation on the land use. 2 reasons. First of all, if these hallucinogenics in a fire get released to the atmosphere, I don't think anybody is going to be very happy about that, or maybe too happy about that. We don't know, and they have had no studies on what that would affect neighbors or the firemen trying to put out the fire. And a suppressant system would keep it a level before things got out of hand, I hope. I think it is a reasonable thing to add to what we are doing already. It also has the effect that most of these businesses who would think about leasing property in Rio Blanco would have a difficult find a landlord willing to put that equipment in there. be a discouragement, but, I think it's a reasonable, safety and health item. Anyway, if you have some questions about other things, I've studied this pretty well. So if you have some questions about which 5 drugs or whatever, I like to emphasize that as far as I'm concerned, these 5 are recreational. They do have some medicinal uses. Federal government considers it minimal. And there are already ways medically to prescribe these things on the federal level. We're not keeping it away from people who medically need it. I want to emphasize that. It's already available that way, just like pot used to before we legalized it here.
Okay,
I'm done.
thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'd like to, can you tell me what the 5 are real quick?
Yeah.
I can't say them.
Yeah.
I can spell them.
If you know, Kelly, just give it a
It's
try.
like,
Still good.
yes, I didn't bring my I apologize for that.
Can you say those?
People can look it up online though.
Kelly's got them here. She just doesn't know how to,
Psilocin,
It's
so it's not,
DMT.
the magic mushrooms is something in common.
Peyote.
yeah, that probably means more to me than that.
Right.
There are 5 very big words.
The other ones are very frequent. The other one is very similar to peyote.
Mhm.
They specifically say you can't use the plant for that. I go, what kind of thing are you going to create out of it? But the 5 are hallucinogenics. And from the federal level, they consider them somewhat habitual. I mean, that you can get addicted to them. They're not strongly addictable, but enough that they're concerned to, at the federal level, prohibit them. Same level as pot. It carries the same level of legal ramifications and jail sentences, etc. The problem is, yes, they have to be consumed on site. But I have read absolutely nothing that says the proprietors have to make sure that they're straight.
Fair statement.
They
And-
can very well be driving.
If I understand correctly, your suggestions are all included in here. Is that correct?
I think with one exception, sir, the fire suppression.
Right. Oh, okay. That one's on a separate letter.
Okay.
Fire suppression.
Okay.
The other
Any
thing I
questions?
don't, yeah, sorry, Madam Chair. Where, because you mentioned hours of operation that I'm not finding that anywhere on here.
It's no, it's something I don't feel would be effective or
It wouldn't be.
It might be
effective.
from a law enforcement. I didn't suggest it myself, but we are allowed to by state regulation to add hours of operation to entities. If that's your will and there's a use for it. I couldn't find a productive reason for it myself.
It's kind of like, in my opinion, liquor laws. I mean, where liquor laws are only allowed to sell certain times of the day, regardless if it's on premise or off premise. And so is that something that we should be considering? Because I'm not finding it on here.
I think that we should confer with the chief of police and the sheriff about that. Because I think that that's a valid point. And if we can, obviously they're staffed a lot better in certain hours than they are at 4 o'clock in the morning or 3:30 or whatever. I don't want. Yeah, and I agree with the fire suppression.
So I might, the one thing that comes to my mind on the times is if they're not supposed to leave until they are out from underneath whatever it is that they are, then limiting your hours. If somebody came in close to those hours, then what do they do with them? So those are just conversations to be had with someone somewhere, I
I
believe.
believe I misspoke on that. It sounds to me like Ed has not found any research that supports that. That's what,
So they can leave anytime.
Oh, they can leave anytime.
They can-
Okay.
that sounds like what Ed has
Now,
just uncovered.
for, just for argument's sake, a bar that realizes somebody is intoxicated beyond use is not legally bound, but by insurance, he's bound to keep himself from being sued for having this guy on the street. There's no such thing
Not on this. Okay.
on this one.
All right. Okay.
It's very similar, I believe.
Okay. So what I would like, so anything else from you? And we have a hand for another public comment. So anything else from you?
Nothing that I want to present, but if you have a
Okay.
question for me.
Okay. Thank you.
my name's-
Thank you for your,
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
I see another hand for public comment. Come on up.
Mark Kitzelman. I'm just curious.
Okay, just a second so you can be where we can hear you good.
My name's Mark Kitzelman. Just curious on what kind of staff is monitoring these people. Are they gonna be registered nurses? Are they gonna be doctors? Are they just gonna be regular Joes? What kind of certifications are they gonna have to monitor these people when they're taking these substances? They're gonna have to go through any kind of education.
I don't think we necessarily know that. That is anything we can do to control, to my understanding, unfortunately. So, but thank you for those questions. Very valid questions. Okay. All righty. Anything else? Commissioners?
So, yes, sorry. I do. So location wise, how did you guys choose either the separation from other natural medicine establishments, the 1,500 feet, and or away from schools and childcare? How did you choose the 1,000? How was that determined on both of those?
The town of Meeker's code says that verbatim, and so copied their code verbatim. I don't know the answer of how that was specifically chosen. I don't know. I do know this. When we're in the smaller jurisdictions such as Meeker and let's use Rangeley as well. If we get too large, we then limit the entire space that they can be housed in, or they can build their shops, which then puts us in violation of the state. So we have to be a little careful when we say within 20 miles of a hospital, or excuse me, a school. Well, that might limit the location of the commercial or industrial zoning that we allow. So I don't have a direct answer to you of how that was used. I was instructed to use the town of Meeker's code. So that's what we used. Now, because we're 5 miles, and I think maybe that's a good point or a good lead. We're 5 miles from a legally recognized hospital. There are 2 of those within Rio Blanco County, within the town of Rangeley and literally within the town of Meeker. So right there, we have limited the areas that they can build very close to the local jurisdictions, which then puts us in a tight spot as far as maintaining legalities with the state of where they can build. So that 1,500 feet probably from the town's perspective works good, and we are actually right there because of our 5 mile restriction. Does that make any sense? Am I gibbering a little too much here?
No, I just didn't know if you were following the same as like liquor laws, which are
no.
the same thing. I mean, like they limit how close it can be to the
Sure.
jurisdiction or schools, childcare. And then as far as the residential zoning, you have 500 feet of boundaries
Uh-huh.
of residential. So they can't be within the boundaries, so they have to be outside of 500 feet in residential areas.
Yes, ma'am. And we did, as a point of clarification on that, we started out with industrial and commercial. We removed commercial and only left it industrial. They're restricted to industrial. And the reason for that is if we had left commercial on there, we would have restricted the entire commercial, or we would have been restricted again where the location of these can be, and we would have put ourselves in a very tight spot with locale. Again, staying within the boundaries of the state
Requirements.
rules.
Okay. All righty.
So who enforces this? Is this something that's enforced by somebody suing us, or is this the state gonna come around and check all of this out, or what?
I'm going to defer to Miss Rose Puglisi on this one. I have no idea.
Rose.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Thank you, Commissioner Overton, for the question. So this would be in your regulations. If there's a violation, it would come to the county. So let's say it's being located in an area it's not supposed to be located in. It would be the county's responsibility, just like any of your other codes, to make sure that it's being enforced. Is the state going to come in and look for these facilities? Doubtful unless there's some sort of state requirements, but normally they're complaint driven as well. So by adding this to the code, whatever enforcement you would do for any other parts of your code, you would also enforce here.
Okay, that I think I understand that, Rose. I was more asking if we don't do this correct, in somebody's opinion, our zoning, then does the state come after us, or do we get sued by the person that wants to open the shop, or how does that work?
I don't believe the state would come after you. Basically, just like any other land use proceeding, if someone had a complaint about let's say that there was an application that came before you and you all did not approve it, there's something called a Rule 106 hearing that could be conducted if someone were to take you to court to challenge your ruling on the zoning. But that's in any part of your land use code, anybody could do that. So it would just follow the normal process under state law. Does that help?
Okay.
Someone
Yes,
could.
it does.
Yeah.
It's under the land use, so that does help. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. So it is sounding to me like we do have a couple of perhaps amendments that we would like to have on this. So how would you, as commissioners, like to proceed?
Madam Chair, if you're not taking any further public comment, would you close the public comment portion of your public hearing and then open it up to discussion amongst the commissioners?
Commissioners? Okay. Does that need to be a motion or anything, or just close? We just say public comments are closed.
So normally I would have you entertain a motion to close. If there's no further public comments, ask one more time. But if there's no further public comments, then you should entertain a motion to close public comments, which means you will not be able to take any further public comments. And then you can have discussion amongst the commissioners. You can ask staff questions. I think in this case, because there's so many potential changes, it would be helpful if the commissioners were to give staff and your county attorney some direction on what you would like us to come back with you. And then eventually you would table this item. In the short term, if you could ask if there's any more public comment, and then entertain a motion to close public comment, please.
Thank you. All righty. Is there any other public comment either in the room or online?
And should staff make a comment at this time, just to add?
If you would like, or you can confer with the commissioners as they give direction. It's up to you.
I will confer.
Wait, okay. All righty. Without seeing any other public comment, I would entertain a motion to close the public comment period.
Madam Chair, I move to close public comment on the public hearing for the 2016 land use regulation LUR for the healing centers.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second to close the public comment section. Would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
All righty. So as we move into deciding how we want to proceed with this, it sounds like we do have some amendments that we would like to have. So how would you like to proceed?
So do we know, so back to my question on hours of operation, do we know if there's any other counties that have put that in their regulations under this that you're aware of?
I am personally not aware.
Okay. And I guess, thank you. Rose, is that something that we can add to this, that we want to have hours of operation?
Thank you, Commissioner O'Hare. And so what I would do at this point is if you could make a list as to the things you want us to investigate. I don't know the statute inside and out. I would have to look at it, so I can't answer your question at this moment. But if you can say, I would like to know if other counties or have hours of operation in their code, and that'll be direction to staff to get back to you on that question. If it's allowed by state statute, that would be a question. Fire suppression, that would be a question. I don't have all of what you all have seen in front of me. But if you can give us direction on, we would like answers to these specific questions. I know you had asked a question about the 1,500. Where did that number come from? So if you can give us a list of questions, we can then investigate that. And then my recommendation is you would table this item until your next meeting, where we can provide those answers and then amend the resolution in accordance with whatever your wishes are. But if you can give us a list, that would be really helpful, I think, at this point, so that we can get you the answers to the questions you have.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I do have a list going here of things that I've heard, so we'll get to that. Leaf, did you have anything additional?
I just wanted to actually go over what she just said. I had 3 things on my list: fire suppression, times of operation, and the 1,500 foot. Where did that come from, and is it plausible? I can tell you geographically and spatially, the 1,500 foot fits real nice to keep us state compliant. Outside of that, we can do some more research if you need it. So yes, that I just wanted to add those.
Okay.
Those were the 3 things that I heard. If there's going to be more, we should probably make sure publicly state.
Any additional list of items to have staff review?
I just want to clarify the times. I would like for them to confer with law enforcement to get the times, and then and they might not have an issue with it. I don't know. My point was to confer with them.
Perfect. All righty. At this point, if there is no other discussion, I would, unfortunately, our public comment is closed. Sorry. I would entertain a motion to table this to a specific time. And I'm just getting, before we do that, I would ask of our attorney and planner timeframe it's 2 weeks or a month more doable with that list of things to address.
I'm ready to go.
Do we want to add the certificate? I liked the question from the public on the certification. As far as who's working there, I mean, do they have to be certified? Is that, I mean,
Something we can address.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's a valid point in my
It is.
opinion. Especially when we don't know much about.
It might get
Or-
outside of the location. It might get outside of our jurisdiction
Okay.
here, but we
It's
can.
worth a question.
Yes.
Is that staff qualifications then?
Mhm. Thank you.
That is very legit. From our perspective.
Yeah. Are you ready for a motion?
Yes, please.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we table this resolution
2026-10.
2026-10, a resolution of the land. Let's see here. It's a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County adopting an amendment for 2016 land use regulations, Article 3, Section 3-203, special use restrictions for healing centers for 30 days or until our next board meeting in 30 days from now, whatever that is, next month. What is that
See if
date?
I can give you a date.
It would be
Rose, do
preferred
we-
to have a date. I apologize. Leaf?
Do we need to republish this? If not, we can do it in Rangeley.
You've already had the public hearing. It'll be posted as a tabled item until, if we could get a date certain, whatever that date is, this is publicly noticed and recorded. So no, you don't have to repost. The commissioners can table to a date certain. And yeah, where you have it is up to
Thank you, ma'am.
So May 5th or May.
Yeah, the date is May 5th, but I would like in the motion, please.
A second.
So, you got that? Okay, all righty. So we have a motion and a second to table resolution 2026-10 until May 5th to be heard here at the commissioner meeting again in Meeker on that date. Would you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
Scritchfield,
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Perfect. All righty. Thank you very much, Leaf, and thank you to all of those who engaged and along the line. We appreciate that input very much. Okay,
It's unfortunate that we have to deal with this.
yes. So our next public hearing item is for the Rector subdivision. And Rose, I'm going to pause for a moment and ask you a question here. So once Leaf describes this to us, do we need to make a motion to open the public hearing?
Yeah, it's cleaner if you were to make a motion to open the public hearing. Again, just make sure Sean has a list of everyone in the room. And Sean, you can, I'm sorry, clerk and recorder, you can circulate a list of everyone in the room, whether they discuss this item or a different item, as long as you have a list of who's in the room. That's the most important. So yes, Madam Chair, a motion to open up the public hearing. And then there'll be a motion to close the public hearing when you all are finished.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, if you would go ahead and proceed with your presentation on the Rector subdivision.
Yes, ma'am. This was a item PSUB 0002-26, the amended plat of Rector subdivision. This application came in to combine 3 lots into 1 lot. This will be on your 11/17 sheet that we handed out. This amended plat process is administrative, so there was no planning commission required, just board approval. So that's why we are here today. It's very simple and straightforward. Lots 20, 21, and 22 of Block 1 Rector subdivision is being requested to combine or consolidate into 1 lot. They are now calling Lot 1R. This has been cross-checked with our comp plan and our land use regulations. It is compliance. Therefore, as far as the planning staff is concerned, we recommend approval with no conditions.
All right. Thank you. I would entertain a motion to open a hearing. Time frame or time?
Madam Chair, I move to approve going into public comment for the plat for Rector subdivision PSU 26-0002.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to open the public comment period on the Rector subdivision. Would you please call the roll?
O'Hare,
Aye.
Overton,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye. All righty. Do we have anyone in the room who would like to provide comment? Seeing none in the room, would anybody online like to provide comment?
I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question. Why would you want to do this? What difference does it make?
I cannot answer that. I can certainly check with the applicant, see if they have a reason. for it, but
Just curious why it makes any difference whether it's 3 lots or 1 lot.
Why do we want natural medicine centers?
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah.
All righty. So
This
I
would
don't
be
see any
easier
other
answer.
public
Sorry,
comment.
Doug, I didn't mean to say that.
That's
I don't
right.
see any other public comment, so I would entertain a motion to close the public comment.
Madam Chair, I move to close public comments for the Rector Gen PSUB 26-0002.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to close the public comment period of the hearing for Rector subdivision. Would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hare.
And Madam Chair, I would just say, Commissioner Overton, to your question as to why he would amend to go from 1 to 3 lots. Generally, and I don't have your code memorized, but generally there's a limitation on how many times you can amend a subdivision. And so if they can amend it at the outset to add those additional lots, then it won't impact if they have to come back again before you. But generally, and again, I don't know your code, but generally you can only amend the plat to change a subdivision twice. So changing it now gives him the opportunity to then change it potentially 1 more time. So I don't know this application well enough to say that's the reasoning, but generally that is why plats get amended. So I hope that's helpful.
Thank you. So I would entertain a motion on this resolution 26-11.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-11, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, approving the plat of Rector subdivision PSUB -26-0002.
I second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2026-11. Would you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Thank you, board. I have the final plat in Mylar form for signature. I will bring that to you, signature, Madam Chair.
Okay. All righty. We will move to our third public hearing on the vacation of County Road 62. So
Before
Lisa,
we start, I got handouts again because I'm a giver.
Thank you, Giver.
Let's move.
Madam Chair, what you have before you is a resolution where the county would vacate a portion of County Road 62, all rights, titles, and interests that you might have in this road. If approved, that means there'd be no further county maintenance. There would still be public access, and it'll be removed from your HUTF report. And with that, I'm open to any questions that I can answer on a legal matter.
questions, commissioners? So staff, just a real brief overview of it, just for public's information. Where we are, where the road is and what it will look like.
This is the Meeker Golf Course Road. It's a very short, I think it's, I don't know, 800 and some odd feet. I can't remember, 700 some odd feet. Section of road that is actually on the county books. The applicant, the Meeker Rio Blanco Golf Association, is that correct, Marcus? Had come in with a request to vacate this road. We then turned it over to our legal department to make sure that this is on the up and up, and Rose has been nothing but helpful with this whole process. So she might have some better information than I.
And anything, Mark, as the applicant, what?
No,
Any
I'm just here
thoughts?
if you guys have any questions
Okay,
as far as the Rio Blanco Golf Association and the president.
I should add too that, and I apologize for this, and I'll try not to be a smart aleck. The planning department conferred with the county surveyor to make sure that this was an exhibit and a legal was done. The surveyor is a great guy, by the way, and we brought it back that way to Rose. So for clarity.
I agree. You have a good surveyor. He does a good job.
okay, I won't say any comments. Thank you, Rose, for that. Okay, any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, you have to open it up to public
Oh, I have
comment.
to do the hearing. Sorry. Okay. All righty. I would entertain a motion to open public hearing.
Madam Chair, I move to
Or
approve
comments.
going into public comment for the vacating of County Road 62, 2026-12.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. So was that resolution 2026-12 vacating County Road 62, correct? Yeah. Okay, sorry. So would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
O'Hairn.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
All righty. Mark, I think this is where I was supposed to ask you. Any comments? My apologies. I got ahead of myself. So anything else?
No, it's been a county road that only serves the golf course, doesn't serve anything else. And we own property on both sides of it. So didn't really see any reason why it should be a county road.
Okay. All righty. Any other public comment? Yes, sir.
Would this allow them to put a gate at the beginning of that road?
So please state your name and your,
Edmund Peck,
yes.
and with this, the maintenance of the road, since it would be totally up to the golf course, could they put a gate at the street there?
We actually do have an existing gate there now. It's locked when there's no staff on the premises.
It is private property, so.
Yes.
As long as they're capable of taking care of the road.
There you go. Okay. Any other public comment? Seeing none in the room, is there any online? I do not see any more online, so I would entertain a motion to close our public comment period of this hearing.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we close the public comment for resolution 2026-12 vacating County Road 62.
A second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hairn.
It's yours.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
We need to approve the resolution.
Oh, we just closed that. Sorry. So yes, you can do that. Ma'am.
Madam Chair, I move to approve resolution 2026-12 vacating County Road 62.
I'll second that motion.
All righty. Now we have a motion on the table to approve resolution 2026-12. Would you please call the roll?
O'Hairn.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Okay, now we're done with public hearing processes. Thank you all.
Run.
Appreciate that very much. Thanks, Leaf, for all that information. We've had you busy for the last little while here.
Pleasure.
I know what that means. Cut that out. I know what that means. All right. So moving on to business, number 1, we would like to do the interview for the Historical Preservation Board and a possible appointment. Michael Sell, is that how I say it? Is it Sell or Selly?
So,
Okay, I was thinking I was told that.
the Americanized German.
All righty. Okay,
Yes, if I may, I'd like to begin by thanking the commissioners and giving them my deepest appreciation for funding the Garrison Reroofing project. One thing I learned many years ago in my career, on a preserve appeal, was 2 things are important. Foundation it rests on it and keeping it secure from water damage by rain or whatever. Now, if you're dumb enough to build in a floodplain, all bets are off.
okay, so quick question. So do you currently serve on the board?
My term has expired.
Okay, how long have you served on it?
3 years.
Perfect. My first question would be, what would you like to accomplish in the next 3 years?
Well, I would like to see a little bit more educational outreach to let not only our residents here, but our visitors know a little bit more about our unique history in Colorado. Some of it's rather dubious, I might say, but you know, and that the board is here to help if people have questions about anything they would like to see preserved or protected or anything like that. I'll admit that I don't know all the answers, but rather like Henry Ford, I don't need to. I know how to go find help,
Okay,
and I'll provide the best advice that I can with this caveat that it must always be legal. After 38 years in the Department of Interior, I've become kind of hung up on that. It's easier in the long run, in spite of what it looks like at times.
thank you. Other questions?
Can you briefly tell us for the public who you are and why you're interested in this position?
Okay, I am Michael Sell. I have a degree in anthropology from the University of Arizona. Basically, I have a dual major in anthropology and history. I taught in a field school. I taught in classrooms. I'm not well prepared for classroom teaching, unfortunately. You know, history is important in many regards. If you don't learn from the mistakes of history, you're going to make them over again, and that can be unpleasant. By the same token, if you don't know where you've been from history, how do you know where you want to go? What improvements would you like to make in your community, your society, your country, your county, whatever, or your institutions? These things are all important, and I think being aware of it is very beneficial. Spent a lot of years working in it. One point through the BLM, and it's what's called the National Historic Preservation Act, Section 110, requires federal agencies to have an outreach and education program. And up until 2003, when Kent Walters took over the management, I had a cooperative agreement program with a contractor in Colorado, Northwest Community College, where we ran a summer archaeological field school.
I provided my funding provided for all specialized lab work. That was done for field school. We, together, the last count I had is we kept 28 at-risk students in school, many of whom went on to college before I was taken out of the program. Our researchers made some great scientific approach, discoveries that helped us understand how the inhabitants that were here for so many centuries managed to survive in what seems to be a pretty inhospitable environment. They were pretty wise. They had their pretty well figured out how to make most of the vegetation that grows here naturally. And that has proven to be over the years, well documented information that has been applied nationwide all the way back to the East Coast. So I feel good about that. It's helping us as a nation.
Thank you. Question?
I don't have any questions.
All righty. Another question?
No, I appreciate your interest and willingness to do this. We need people to step up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We like to do the interviews just to touch base with everybody each time as they come back, even if they've been a member and so forth. So thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Oh, I was a little stunned at first because my first appointment didn't involve an interview.
Right. You have a new set of commissioners.
Changed it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All righty. So let's see. Vicky, do we have, how many openings do we have on that board? Is this the only one?
On the historic preservation, I
Yes.
believe you had 2 openings, but I'd have to confirm that with Chrissy.
All right. Very good. So do we want to appoint next month or next meeting, or do you want to go ahead and do that now?
I'm ready to do it now. if you
Okay,
guys are.
I would entertain that motion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to appoint Michael Sell to the Historical Preservation Board for the next term.
Very nice. Second.
Have a motion and a second to appoint Michael Sell for the next term, for a second term. Would you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Very good. All righty. It looks like we have 3 others. So Alden, do we have you on the call? For interviews for the Extension Advisory Board and possible appointments. What I would like to do, if we can grab one more chair, if we could get Sean, Kathy, and Angelo to come on. We're gonna do a real quick questions and so forth for you. And I believe Alden was going to be on the call.
Not till 10.
Oh, he's not coming till 10:15. Bummer. Okay, well, we are actually on time, on schedule. So very good. Yeah, see if he can show this really quick. Well, thank you all. As you all have, the 3 of you and Al have served on the extension board in the past, correct? We've all been there, right? So that board had not been meeting for a while. And so Extension and the county is in the process of hiring a new extension director. And very excited about getting that going and what we might be able to do. So a part of the interview process will be this advisory board. And then they will also are asking other members to participate in that interview as well. But that's a little bit of background. I'm buying a little bit of time to see if Al will join us. But in the meantime, I guess I will start because I know you have been on that board. If each one of you would just give us a real brief, what would you like to accomplish on that board in the next round? And anyone can start.
Well, first of all, we need to get somebody in place in that position so that we can actually be an advisory board. We have not served in that capacity in the past. And I think they need some guidance, and I think it should be a cooperative group that actually works with producers and people of interest that need to help advise what's going on in the office.
I believe what Kathy said, but we were on the board for 2 years. We had like maybe 2 meetings. And hopefully this would be, more productive. Wouldn't have to be very productive, be more productive. And, just seems like we had those meetings and, nothing got accomplished. I was ready not to go to the next meeting, but anyway, I got this invitation. It's interesting. I'm interested in the county and we have a good extension agent. Well, that's what I'd like.
Part
to
of the
be
goal
involved
is.
in that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Sean?
From my standpoint, being a current employee of Utah State University, I've worked with the Center for Community Engagement, lucky enough to work remote Rio Blanco County. I kind of have the lens of working with a land grant institution at a different state, and I see what extension can do, especially in terms of leveraging different sources of funding through grants and other opportunities. So from my viewpoint, I kind of see the door wide open with this new person coming into this position and this advisory board, helping to steer this person in the right direction so that Colorado State University Extension can work for the residents of this county.
Very good. And Doug, I'll let you ask your question because I should let your question go first.
Yeah, I guess I have the same question as just, can you give us a brief description of who you are and your background in Rio Blanco County and why you want to do this?
So I'm Kathy Nelson. I've lived in Rio Blanco County all of my life, except for the few years I was gone to college and a couple of years prior to that or after that. And then I was a teacher and principal here. I'm retired now, full-time rancher. So my experience, what I bring to the table with the background of agriculture, livestock production, education. I was also very involved in 4-H as a child myself, and I had a daughter who was extremely involved in 4-H and very successful in what she did in 4-H. And so I have that 4-H background and aspect as well.
And I've served on a lot of boards, mostly sheep industrial, the American sheep. So I've been executive board. I've been president of the Colorado Wool Board a couple times. I'm on the Sheep and Wool Board Authority. I'm the HPP here. I've served on the 4-H. What I want to say, I was on the council, not the council, the fair board. Thank you. And so anyway, I feel I'm qualified. I've got 2 grandkids that are in the organization too. They have animals. They've been in it several years. I was also in it. Our children are also in it. We have a sheep ranch. We've got 6 generations on the ranch now, which doesn't happen very often. So, and I'm really interested in the county. I mean, I've been here all my life, and my granddad came here in 1923. So it's been over 100 years, and we're just interested in being involved as much as we can and try to help do the right things.
Thank you.
Sean Robinson, I'm the token non-local. I've been here for almost 5 years. Lived most of my adult life in northern Utah. I grew up in the Rust Belt of Wisconsin, and told you a little bit about my professional career. I'm also the co-founder of the Utah Conservation Corps, which is based at Utah State University. So I have a bit of experience working with both kind of the natural resources field on a local, federal, state level, and also kind of that youth development component. So I kind of come to the position with those lenses and hopefully kind of adding a different perspective other than what's represented on the board currently. So that's a little bit of who I am and my motivation for being part.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Is Alan on?
Yes, I believe, Alden, are you now on? And he ran.
Yes, I'm here.
He is there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm changing formats because I'm bouncing from one to another, but, and I,
My apologies for rushing you. We were actually kind of on
there we
and a
go.
little bit in schedule. There you are. We can even
There we
see you.
go.
So
I'm
you're
here.
good. Okay, so we have the other three, and then I'll ask you the same question and come back to the other one as well. So just a real quick background and what you bring to the Extension Advisory Board, if you would, please.
Okay. I'm Alden Vandenbrink. I go by Al. I was born and spent 37 years in small town USA in Iowa, Northwest Iowa. Most of these towns were about 600 people, population less. So, and then in 2008, we moved out to Northwest Colorado to the Rangeley metropolis. So, but my background is water and natural resources and agriculture, from like dumping grain bins, working for grain elevators, to helping pick eggs and chickens, but just work all over quite a few areas of agriculture, and even help dairies work through complicated water issues with disease that might be impacting them. So I've always been a proponent for natural resources, and I understand the needs for the extension service. I worked with them quite a bit in Northwest Iowa with my activities over there, as well as we dealt with different type of water issues. And my background also works on several water and other public service boards. And I think I would be a good fit for the Extension Service Advisory Board, and help bring a little bit of that knowledge to the table, as I enjoy providing community service and sharing myself, and to help make our way of life a better place to be. So, thank you.
Thank you. And I will back up one question that I had asked the others is, what would you like to accomplish in the next several years on this advisory board?
I'd like to get another resource outreach to our agricultural producers. We struggle quite a bit in Rio Blanco County. And I know our ag is one area that brings a great, enormous economic benefit and value, not only for the products they grow, but for the experience that they bring in water management and other natural resource management. And I would hope to bring in some thoughts to get somebody to get out there with boots on the ground and maybe help people make our county more productive. And just by sharing their knowledge and experiences living in a very arid part of the world.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions?
So as we're looking for new leadership in the extension office, I want to know, what kind of leadership are you looking for as you are starting to do these interviews?
Don't all speak at once. They all turn to you, Kathy.
I know my eyes get stuck. Well, I think we need to have some programming, like a lot of people for years in Rio Blanco County Extension has just been kind of the program and not a lot else. It is way deeper than that. We're supposed to be educating producers and helping livestock producers and helping people manage their ground and their resources and things like that. And I think that attention needs to be brought into all the things that they can be doing besides just running fair and a 4-H program, because that's definitely a piece of it, but it is certainly not the whole picture.
I agree with Kathy. I think, the 4-H, yeah, that is a big part of it, but yeah, we have to reach out. I mean, we've got problems with, understand crickets, and then we've got the weed problem that we have, and now the droughts that we've been dealing with probably for 20 years. And, I think we can do some things through this agency that can attribute to solving some of those problems, at least addressing them.
I'll build on those two responses. I think this is an opportunity for extension to build back some relationships that may have kind of fallen by the wayside. Just kind of giving the backstory from the folks that have been here way longer than I have. It seems like it's kind of gone that way. This is definitely an opportunity to start going right with this position. And I see this as, if Colorado State University doesn't put someone good in this position, it's really a lost opportunity. I think it's just kind of a shame to hear the responses of how, the extension may have not read the needs of the community that well in the past, especially it seems like in the ranching community. And I think going forward, it's a great opportunity for a land grant institution to really play a better part in developing that part of the county's economy, to make sure that all folks, especially in the agricultural sector, feel like they're well supported by their land grant institution.
Alden?
I'm anxious to find somebody that would have a strong basis of knowledge, of experiences that would be able to be applied to our type of region, that also messes with the people that we have here. And also understanding how they could also integrate with CSU extension program. And we need somebody and also want somebody that I keep looking for, is someone with some pretty good ambition that really wants to get out there and interact. And whether it's the kids doing an archery shoot for 4-H, or somebody that's struggling with a tree farm, or somebody trying to grow grapes, or whatever it might be, to the alfalfa folk. Somebody that's got the ambition to get some boots on the ground, or tennis shoes, whatever they're running around in, but get out there and really interact with the people and help us get through some of the struggles, but show what else is available for services and to help these people grow.
Other questions?
No, I just have a statement. I'm really excited for this program to get back on its feet. And if I had to go out and pick a group to advise, we've got the best right here. And I really appreciate you guys stepping up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would concur. I appreciate you guys' time and commitments, and I really do, because I had the opportunity to meet with you guys and Carla, who is the interim director at this point. And, I think Extension gets it that this needs to be truly an advisory board, not a listening board. And so we are going to be looking to you to help that new person be very, very successful. And I know Carla is working on the new bylaws. And I mean, it's like getting the opportunity to build from the ground up again and do something really cool. So I'm really excited about it. You sit on the state search committee. I'm really excited about the group of candidates that you're going to get to interview. And I think I'm just excited. I will just tell you. So thank you for your time. Really appreciate you joining us. I know that you don't have anything else to do today. It's a little cold. It looks like kind of nasty out there. So we brought you in so it could be nice and warm, but thank you. Any questions of us real quickly?
I think you need to reset your clock.
Yeah, that one really keeps throwing me off and it keeps changing. It's not consistent. So, okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Al. Okay, I would entertain a motion on our Extension Advisory Board.
Madam Chair, I move to approve. I'm gonna butcher his name. Sean Demitz, is that right?
Good enough.
Thank you. And go Aggies. Kathy Nielsen, Angelo Theos, and Alvin Vandenbrink to the Extension Advisory Board.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the 4 applicants to the Extension Advisory Board. Would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
All righty, we are moving on and we are doing pretty darn good on time here. So would like to move to business item 3, discussion and potential bid award for the Fairfield property assessment. So Eric, if you would mind coming up and giving us a little bit of a background and some what the alternatives are here. And I might just start while Eric's looking for that. We have, through our strategic plan, I almost said long range plan, but strategic plan, we have looking at all of the county's assets and how we can best utilize them and so forth. So we had asked staff to specifically take a hard look at the Fairfield property to assess the what it would cost to get that updated, and then we can make an informed decision on where we go from there. But we really kind of got to have an idea of what it may be costing us before we can make any kind of a decision. So if you want, are you ready, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so we submitted an RFP out for the services to evaluate a number of things about the Fairfield complex. The complex is made up of the Fairfield Community Center. The Community Center is an event hall, and then on the west wing, it houses the offices for Department of Human Services and Public Health. The Fairfield Community Center does have a basement facility that's generally used for storage. The other part of the Fairfield complex, of course, is a senior residence, affordable apartment living that's made up of 4 units that are divided, that share boiler systems. 2 of the units share a laundry facility. I'm sorry, it's 3 units that are split by apartments. They make up 1-bedroom apartments and 2-bedroom apartments. The construction of the Fairfield Center was done in the 70s, early 70s, 72. A lot of the systems are aging. For a long time, our approach has been to address the problem as they come up. Essentially, sometimes band-aiding the issue. And so under the strategic plan from the commissioners, we wanted analysis of the facilities, what are our options for moving forward in the future, and that was determined in detail in the RFP. We had 2 firms propose on it, Rosenfield Design LLC and Haring Design LLC. Both firms were determined to be responsive and qualified to perform requested services. We issued out a review scoring sheet to the commissioners, our county administrator, and myself to review the proposals. Part of that was also reviewing the fees. We took those, we averaged the scoring of those. Rosenfeld Design averaged a score of 74.7, and Car and Design averaged a score of 73.3. They were very close. I believe the Car and Design gained a lot of points because it was the lower fee of the two. However, looking at the technical approach, Rosenfeld scored much higher in the technical approach. They provided a more detailed analysis of the shared systems, more detailed approach in separation, feasibility, regulatory considerations, and long-term planning. This aligns with the complexity of the Fairfield and what we want to see moving forward. The cost of the two proposals was that Karn was proposed at 68,000 compared to the 98,000 that Rosenfeld proposed. However, there was a key missing scope gap with the Karn design, and one of our major concerns is the sewer system for the apartments and the Fairfield complex, given the fact that the sewer is so deep that we know of, and everything would rely on making sure that that is addressed first, and then everything as you work your way up with site landscaping, ADA compliance, accessibility, parking, all that falls in line with it. We felt that Rosenfeld provided a much more detailed and appropriate proposal selection. So I would recommend to the board that we move forward with agreement negotiations with Rosenfeld Design for the 2026 Fairfield complex analysis.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Questions?
Is the extra money or is this budgeted? Is the money there?
Yes, Commissioner, we have budgeted for this amount.
Good.
Okay, excellent. Good to know.
That was gonna be my question. So, thank you.
Funny, it's all about the money. So, alrighty. Well, and I really appreciate that and going through those. While, yeah, we could go the cheaper route, but I am not 100% convinced it would be cheaper by the time we get into the sewer part and knowing that that's a really important piece to us. So, I am thankful that we did budget a little bit higher, and I'm looking forward to really seeing a detailed document there. So, any additional questions? Okay. Alrighty. I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'm going to make a motion that we accept Rosenfeld's proposal to assess the Fairfield property.
And I second.
Okay, for discussion's sake, so what we're asking basically is then for staff to go back and develop work through the negotiations and an agreement with them and so forth, and then does that agreement comes back to us, accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. With that motion and second, to approve the bid award of for the Fairfield property assessment for Rosenfield, is that how I say it?
I assume Rosenfeld is.
Okay.
the same.
Perfect. Okay, if you would call the roll, please.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward to that assessment. So moving on to business item number 4, discussion and possible bid award for the 2026 Rio Blanco County Chip Seal Project. Come on up, Road and Bridge. What do we have to look forward to?
So our bid for 2026 came in at $250,000.
22,000, roughly over what we had bid. Last year we had bid about $1 million. It was just under $1 million. We budgeted 1.5 for this year, this upcoming chip seal. The price, the increase went to roughly $9,000 more a mile this year. We tried to chip seal everything in Rangeley in 1 year because of mobilization fees of, doing half and half. It kind of just doesn't add up. So we're asking for the additional 222 to 2-ish. I don't have the exact number around to be able to finish all of Rangeley chip seal.
So remind me again, how much did we have budgeted for it?
1.5
1.5, okay. And we were under 100 or $1 million last year, but we knew we were gonna have more to do and just get it done in
Right,
that
which
location.
We budgeted a third more.
Right. Okay.
Still came in.
All righty. Questions?
Mag project that we're doing. We changed stuff around this year where we're saving money on the mag.
Yes.
Can you tell us how much money you saved on the mag because of the way we've changed it around? I'm looking for money to do this.
Right. And what we saved, because we're not actually truly finished in Rangeley, so to be able to pull numbers, I don't have that, but our time and equipment is cut in half right now as we are of doing the mag ourselves in Rangeley.
What's the mag project cost in Rangeley? How much did you budget for that?
It's like 204,000 gallons of mag product. But that's not including, manpower and equipment and everything else.
I see Antina scrambling. She might have your back.
Because we budgeted for the product, we are currently on budget with the product amount that we have purchased.
Okay.
We will be saving funds on the back end in regards to man hours, vehicles, and we're saving in on the personnel side.
Right.
Product wise and that actual GL code, we're gonna be
Okay.
straight across.
Because we had budgeted to do it that
Right,
way.
yes.
Okay.
So we did not budget for a surplus in product. So
So that's not a great place to find $220,000.
no.
Okay. Okay. We're looking. Where else might we find it?
Yeah, but where is the money? Are we gonna have to do a supplemental budget if we do this,
Should be in
or
our fund balance.
Yes.
you've got enough to cover it?
Yes.
What is the parking lot cost that you're
Parking
gonna
lot for Rangeley is like 60,000. So it's not enough to.
And the problem is if we don't do it this year, everything down there that doesn't get touched will not have seen any enhancements in 14 years. So the preservation part of it would be huge.
So we just chip and seal every 14 years?
No, we do every 7 years. We round everything
Oh,
around.
so by the
But
time
we
it
try to
comes
do
around
all of
again.
Rangeley at one time because of mobilization.
Right.
And then we can do everything on this side of the county.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so chip and seal is typically every 7 years then is what I'm hearing you say.
Well, we chip and seal. Yes,
Each
but yeah, every
Yeah.
road should be chip and seal
Right.
every 7 years.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that.
How many miles are we doing?
In Rangeley,
Mhm.
34
and a half, basically 34.46.
How many did we do last year?
We did 21.38.
And I was thinking Vicky was gonna ask well, because we're thinking it would be in your fund balance. That's where we're thinking it would come from, right? We're not looking at any of the other funds to pull it from. Okay, so this would be, right, and so this would be a supplemental budget process in our,
Yeah, if it wasn't in the budget,
we have to do
we
that.
just have to do that.
Yeah.
That's, if they've got the money, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay. Thoughts?
It makes the most sense if we can find the money to do it, finish it up. I mean, yeah, you guys are there and
Well, and I hate to delay it just for the sake of it, because then you've got, you're just gonna compound your problems. If we don't take care, if you don't maintain it, you get to replace it is what you get to do. So,
and then we're like CDOT and we don't want to be CDOT.
no, we do not want to be CDOT. Yes, well, that's true. So thank you for that.
No,
Well, not thank you for that process, but
I hope when we get through with some of this national stuff that some of the costs go down.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
We can always hope.
okay. All righty. Any other thoughts, ideas, questions, concerns? Staff or commissioners? All righty. Thank you, guys. I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the additional budget for the 2026 Rio Blanco County chip seal project.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the additional funds necessary to complete the 2026 chip and seal project. And so thank you very much. And would you please do roll call?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on to business line item 5. In-stream flow comment is Reese. Oh, Reese is on with us. Reese, would you like to give us a quick overview of this here letter and purpose?
Sure can. Pretty straightforward. This is just a notice to CWCB and their board that we would like to be a contested hearing participant or request that status. This pretty much elevates us, maybe elevates isn't the right word, but qualifies us to receive all findings, notices, and communications related to any formal contesting of the 4 ISFs listed in the letter. It also allows us just to be more plugged in on any updates for public comment regarding this negotiation and contesting process regarding those 4 in-stream flows. Would be happy to answer any questions, but that is really the gist of it. It gives us a good platform to provide public comment in the coming months as CWCB works with impacted landowners on these in-stream flows upriver.
And so the landowner that's closest there has provided a protest, I guess is that the right term, Reese? And
They
so
have formally contested.
okay, thank you. And so then we can participate in any of those conversations and express our concerns as well. So perfect. Okay. Any other questions?
No, I don't have any other questions. I just would like to make a comment that these in-stream flows that they're trying to put on the state are, they think they're helping, but in the long term, my opinion is they don't. They will hurt the local people, the people that need this water, and so we need to contest or to pay attention to what's going on in this, to do that.
I
Yeah,
think
yes. Go ahead, Reese.
Yeah, just off of Doug's comment, I think, to your point, Doug, this would be an excellent first step to engage on that. Because there's more to come.
Yeah, that's these, so just for the public's opinion or information, so there is Bear Creek, Big Fish Creek, Hoskins Creek, and Picket Pin Creek, which are all in the wilderness. And so it's just really hard to understand why we need those there. But to Doug's point, and what our concern is, anytime they put these in-stream flows, it really, we all get and understand we need to keep water in the stream for multitude of purposes, but it really handicaps and restricts what can be done in trying to work with each other and neighbors and so forth to try to improve efficiency, effectiveness, and so forth. As we are facing drier and drier, we're going to need flexibility more than restrictions. So anything else, ma'am?
No, I don't.
Okay, I would entertain a motion.
Where's the motion for?
Number 5 is where we're at.
So, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2026 in-stream flow files written notice of contested hearing participant status. Bear Creek, CWB ID 26A004. Big Fish, CWB ID 26A010, and Haskins Creek, CWCB ID 186A013, and Picket Pin Creek, CWCB ID 186A012.
A second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the in-stream flow written notice of contested hearing participant status on these 4 various creeks. Would you please call the roll?
O'Hairn.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes,
May
ma'am.
we take a quick break, please? I do need to see if I might be able to conference with the attorney for a
Okay.
moment.
Alrighty. That sounds good. We would like to recess for, let's say, do you want to do 5-10 minutes?
10 minutes would probably be great.
Okay, let's say 10 minutes. It is 10:43 currently.
Thank you. Rosa, if I can call you real quick, please.
Okay, that works perfect.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, we will,
Should we be raising Rose?
we will reconvene. Rose, I think is on. Rose, are you with us now? She
I'm
is.
still
Look
here.
how- Thank you. All righty. Just checking to see who all we had. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We still
Thank
have
you.
Reese and Rose joining us, so thank you. So let's move on to business number 6, our fleet trade-in policy. So yes, Ryan, thank you for joining us. And I was getting ready to pull this up. So do you want to give us a quick summary?
So this is the adoption of the official trade-in policy, basically just miles and years. I think we're looking at 150,000 miles for 10 years. And that's for 1-ton pickups and below, so. Pickup trucks, sedans, everything, automobiles, I guess.
Okay. And did I understand? I think Vicky had explained to me that we pulled the dual wheel 1-ton pickups. I don't know if we have any, but we pulled those out of the fleet. They move into the heavier equipment stuff.
I was thinking that they were still in this policy, but.
She has them out.
Did she
Pull them
them
out.
And I'm okay with that. That's okay. Oh, you mean like the big plow trucks?
No, just the dual wheeled 1-ton pickups is how it's rated. And that's what I wondered if that's what we really wanted, or do we even have any, or do we ever get any? So I'm not sure it matters.
It's rare. And yeah, there might be 1 or 2, but.
Why would we pull them out?
Okay, we will get to ask her here. We have a quick question for you, Miss Vicky. On the fleet vehicle or the fleet policy, you had mentioned to me, and I saw in there that where you had went ahead and pulled the dual-wheeled 1-ton pickups out. Can what?
Explain that.
Yes, please.
Because dualies by their nature end up going over the 10,000,
Oh,
the
weight.
10,000 weight.
The weight.
Yeah.
Oh,
The weight.
vehicle weight, gotcha.
So that's why it said that they are not, even though they have the same engine size, they actually do not qualify under the 10,000.
GW.
Wait, so the F-350s can be an F-350 without the dually, but when you make it a dually, then it goes over that 1-ton character.
Gotcha. And we currently do not have any dualies in our. And I don't anticipate the need.
The only one that we have is the 450, which would not be in the same class.
Oh, it's a 450. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So does that make sense? Are you guys good with that?
I
Doing
agree,
it that way?
yes. Yep,
Okay.
that makes sense, and I'm okay with that.
And I don't know, I apologize if I missed that conversation, just to reiterate that we are trying the leasing program. So this is only applying to those vehicles that would not, so.
Okay. Actually, thank you for that. Because do we state in there that that's the case? Do we need to put that in there that this is not our leasing vehicles?
I don't know that you would necessarily need to, because it'll be vehicles that you're gonna identify to go through the lease program, or specifically identified to go through the lease program. But.
And they're not going to be considered part of fleet. Is that our difference, our definition of fleet?
No, I mean,
Well, that's correct, because they'll actually go through the department. At that point, they're not considered, well, they're still a fleet vehicle, but they are going to go straight to the department for their evaluation, and that is by your direction, so.
It might
we
not
can
be a
add
bad
something.
idea to put a clarifier in here that this is except for leased vehicles.
Yeah, I think as I was reading it, I was thinking, okay, so how do we differentiate so that we don't get, I mean, if none of us are here, somebody else is looking at it, do they understand that?
And I think the lease policy has that in there, so if you want that verbiage in here, then do you want to table it for the next meeting?
Can we not just say that we add that to it, or does it have to be?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Rose. Please.
Okay, 2 things. One, if you have a separate lease policy, then I would just reference in this fleet policy that any lease vehicles will be subject to the lease policy that you currently have. That'll make it incredibly clear, to your point, Madam Chair, that when you all are not there, that the direction is actually codified in your policy. So I would do that. You can just give direction, if you're comfortable, you can just give direction to staff. We can hammer out the exact language that your motion will be to adopt the fleet policy subject to an amendment that includes this specific language that we'll come up with in a minute. And then direct staff to add that to the policy, and that'll be the policy. You know, you can have that final policy for adoption so that you don't have to table it if that's your only change. I hope that's helpful, and I'm happy to, or Vicky can come up with the language. But basically, it would. I don't know what the title of your lease policy is, so maybe someone can get that to us real quick. But if we can reference the lease policy and whatever date that was adopted in this policy, that would be the best.
Okay. Are you searching that, Vicky? Or I'm a slow searcher, so. So we need to have the exact language that we want to add to it in order to make the motion today.
That's my preference. Otherwise, you could just direct staff to add language in the policy that references the current lease policy for the board. And, you know, it can be added. And if you don't like the language, then in your next meeting, you could fix it. If that's your preference. We could be flexible.
Okay. I like flexibility. Okay.
So I do have the policy name.
Okay.
It's the Rio Blanco County Fleet Cost Allocation and Internal Vehicle Leasing Program.
Fleet cost allocation.
And internal
Sure, okay.
vehicle
Okay.
lease program.
Can you send that to me in an email? Please.
Please, come on, Sean.
Madam Chair, is there a date on that policy?
March 10th of 20, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Vicky. Yeah,
March
thank you.
10th of 2026.
Perfect.
Seems like a long time ago. Okay. I would entertain a motion, ma'am.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the fleet trade-in policy with changes that reference the current lease policy adopted on March 10th, 2026, title of Rio Blanco County Fleet Cost Allocation and Internal Vehicle Lease Program.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion?
Is that the actual name of the policy? I don't think that's right. I think somebody may shorten that fleet trade-in policy.
Oh, for this piece here, you mean?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think we might need to get the correct name there.
okay, good point. Liz and say, I think I have it right here. Fleet vehicle sale dash purchase dash trade in.
Yeah, I think it was just shortened, but I think we should have it correct.
Have it correct in there. Yeah, I would agree. Okay, so do you want to do it by amendment or friendly amendment?
And Madam Chair, just for clarification, was that also adopted on March 10th, 2026?
It's the one we're talking about right now. It's the one we're
Yes.
adopting. Instead of just being fleet trade in policy.
Oh,
It would be fleet vehicle sale purchase trade in.
okay.
the
I understand.
Friends amendment would include adding sale dash purchase dash trade.
Yes. Can we do that by friendly amendment, Rose?
Absolutely, as long as the seconder has no objection.
Good with that? Okay. Do you need help with that, Sean, or you? Okay?
I'll get it.
Okay.
I'll get it. I'll go back and listen to make sure.
All righty. So with that being said, and I can't say it all in one, so we have a motion and a second to approve the fleet vehicle sale purchase trade-in policy with the reference to the previous lease policy. So if you would call the
Overton,
Aye.
Burgess.
Critchfield,
Aye.
O'Haron.
Aye. All righty.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, thank you, sir. I think we have all of that in order now. Perfect. Moving on to business number 7, SGM task order. Just want to give us the update on that.
Yes, this is just approval of the next 6 bridges that we picked for, the next 6 minor bridges that we picked for inspection based off of the approval from our last meeting that you approved the funds. Good news is these are coming in under budget than what we originally projected, so yay.
Good.
Yay.
There's a savings we can put over there.
Yeah, I saved us money there.
Good job.
But yes, we picked these 6 based off of visual inspection and then looking back at historic documentation, the information available, which is not.
Do you do that? Do you do that geographically or conditions?
Conditions.
Mhm.
And I had a couple of questions. One being, and I know this is because of the one we did that you've just recently done over the irrigation ditch. And they talk about they won't get into water that is moving and more than 2 feet deep. So do you have any of them in over irrigation ditches of these that would, because I don't know how they're going to get under them to really see anything as much as that water.
So he put waders on and he crawled under there, but he wasn't able, the ice was actually in there and he was busting through some ice and couldn't get to some of the parts of the bridges. I mean, he got 90% of it, but.
Okay. So I was just thinking, there might be a problem with that. Too bad they're in more of a problem with it right now, but anyway, the other thing I was looking at, so because you list the 6 bridges that you're going over, and they're doing load rating just on one of them, design on 2.
So I have
And
load rating on one of them because we have no load rating at all.
Okay.
On that particular structure. The other ones, there was actually a load rating done back in 2020.
okay,
And at the recommendations of our engineers, there's no need to load rate again unless there's been massive changes to the amount of material on the top of the bridge.
okay.
So they were confident with the load ratings that were done in 2020.
So what do we mean by design and legal? I'm on page 2.
Okay.
In accordance with these manuals, we will provide ratings for
Oh.
the following.
So these are the
Oh,
categories
vehicles.
that load ratings are done in. So I would have to show you a Colorado type 3 truck.
They're different vehicles,
Okay, those are different.
so that you get load ratings for all different kinds of vehicles.
Okay. It just threw me because it says legal and I'm going, what would be legal? So,
And those are set by CDOT.
oh, that's great.
Mhm.
Okay. All righty. Any other questions? Cindy? All right. I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, make a motion that we accept the SGM task order RBC SGM 006 for minor bridge inspection and load ratings set number 2.
I second.
Have a motion and a second for the SGM task order regarding the minor bridge inspections. Would you please call a roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hope you don't find any more that were like one of the others that you already found. All righty, moving on to business number 8, letter of opposition regarding the CPW commission appointments. Reese, want to do a quick summary on that one?
Yes. So the Gunnison County Stock Growers, the Gunnison County Stock Growers are submitting a letter in opposition to 2 Parks and Wildlife Commission appointments by the Senate. So Rio Blanco County drafted its own letter. Pretty straightforward in front of you. It is, to clarify to you commissioners, it is addressed at this moment to Senate Ag and Natural Resources Committee, not to the Senate as a whole. But it essentially outlines 2 appointments, Dr. Emmerich and Mr. Chico, on, perhaps some conflict of interest for their given appointments. You can see those details in the letter. If you have any questions regarding these 2 appointments or the letter itself, please feel free to ask. But not only us, but several other groups and entities across the Western Slope feel that these 2 individuals are not qualified essentially to represent sportsmen. And that's the highlighting theme, is these individuals are not sportsmen. One of them would be the sportsman representative. And we all view that as very problematic for those stakeholders' voices to be heard on the commission. One could maybe perhaps argue, without getting too political here, that they would be the exact opposite of a representative to sportsmen.
And one of them being an at-large position, but still the fact that he had signed on to one of the petitions that is non-scientific or encouraging the use of no science, I might say. And is the partner to the lady who actually is submitting the petition, and probably the second petition as well. So definitely I would like to support this. The other thing, Reese, if I'm not mistaken, we would like to sign on to the Gunnison stock growers letter as well. Is that make sense that we do both?
I would defer to Rose, but I think we would have to amend this item.
Madam Chair, yes,
Rose?
I agree with,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes, Madam Chair, I agree with Reese that we would amend that item.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion either to amend this to include signing on to the Gunnison stock growers letter, or they welcomed us as individuals to sign on those 2. So whichever your preference would be, but this individual would be interested in signing on it.
On both of them.
Yeah, so this one is our own letter, so we need to approve it as opposing the letter to support this and to sign on to Gunnison stock growers. If that's doable.
I'm gonna do it all in one.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the letter of opposition regarding the 2026 Colorado Parks and Wildlife Commission appointments. And also sign on to the Gunnison stock growers letter of opposition.
I'll second that motion.
All righty, we have a motion on the floor to approve this letter of opposition from the commission ourselves, as well as signing on to a much longer detailed letter with the Gunnison stock growers. So Any other
Um,
questions, concerns?
I apologize, commissioners. We may have to redo that. There's a lot of letters going on. The letter, in fact, we would be signing on to would be the same representative for Gunnison County stock growers, but the next agenda item is actually a Gunnison County stock growers letter. This letter we would be signing on to would be from Coloradans for Responsible Wildlife Management, CRWM. So that was not in the motion. I apologize, but I just caught that as I looked over it. So we might have to modify this, that latest motion, or provide a correction. It would not be Gunnison County stock growers. It would be CRWM.
Oh, so Kathleen did that one for CRWM then, didn't she?
Correct. She did. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So
She does a good job
commissioners-
of writing letters. Yes.
I'm sorry. So, okay. So I had no issue with you adding the stock growers because that was part of this item. I'm a little concerned about, and my recommendation would be, have you all seen the letter that Reese is referencing?
Yes.
I have. Yes.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so if you're comfortable, you've already seen it, then I just wanted to make sure, because there was just confusion about the two letters. So I just wanted to make sure you all saw that second letter. And yes, so if you want to amend your motion to include that letter, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. So tell us again who it's by, Reese, that name of that organization.
Yeah, essentially, you would just have to strike Gunnison County stock growers and replace with Coloradans for Responsible Wildlife Management, or CRWM.
And Commissioner O'Huron, I think you made the original motion. I think it might just be cleaner if you withdraw the motion and then do a new motion. So if Commissioner Overton will withdraw his second, you withdraw your motion and then just restate it. I think it'd just be cleaner for the record.
So, Madam Chair, I withdraw my motion for the original motion that included the Gunnison stock growers and CPW commission appointments.
Are you good with that, Douglas?
I need to withdraw my second to the same.
Yes. If you're good with that.
Yes.
All righty. So we can note those as withdrawn.
Okay, and it's Colorado. What?
Coloradans for Responsible Wildlife Management, CRWM.
Oh, sorry. Coloradans.
Yes. Coloradans for
Okay.
Responsible
Okay.
Wildlife Management. Just for clarification, the Wolf Coalition that we're working with, they have, I think, 4 or 5 letters going on right now. So that's part of our confusion. There is a lot going on in the wildlife world right now, just FYI.
Yes.
So, okay, if you're good with that. All right.
So, Madam Chair, I move to approve a letter of opposition regarding the 2026 Colorado Parks and Wildlife Commission appointments and the Coloradans for Responsible Wildlife Management opposition as well.
Second that motion.
And it's an opposition letter as well, if we can just add letter to that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm letting Sean get caught up here.
No, sorry.
No, you're fine. Take your time.
I apologize for that, everyone.
No, I'm right there with you. I should have caught that too. I knew Kathleen wrote them both. I just didn't know she did them for different groups. Good. Okay. If you would call the roll on that, please.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Okay. Reese, we are now moving on to business number 9. Another one of those letters.
Yes, and this one is, in fact, a letter from the Gunnison County Stock Growers Association, just to be clear. Essentially, this is a letter also written by Kathleen Curry on behalf of Gunnison County Stock Growers Association. This basically is a letter in opposition to a citizen petition that was filed to the CPW Commission regarding the rulemaking that would request amendments to the Colorado gray wolf compensation regulations. Essentially, this petition would request that the burden to prove that they've provided more non-lethal tools is directly correlated to their ability to receive compensation. There's also some language in there that would weigh reducing compensation available to livestock producers impacted on wolves depending on various conditions. Essentially, the system that we have now is already very difficult for our landowners being impacted by wolves. The burden of proof is very difficult. The investigations from local staff is not always timely. So as Callie mentioned earlier, the Wolf Coalition is certainly opposed to this, as many other entities are. So we would just be signing on to this letter to the commission, Director Kellen, identifying our opposition to this citizen petition.
So the motion would be to sign on to this letter.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And the letter, yeah. The letter is in direct opposition to the ballot measure.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, Madam Chair, I make a motion to sign on to the letter of opposition to Colorado Parks and Wildlife Commission regarding reducing wolf predation compensation petition.
Second. Because there's no changes.
I don't believe there is. I think we're okay with it as being a sign-on letter. So no other discussion? So with that motion and second, would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Okay, moving on to business line item number 10. I might explain this one a little bit myself. In working with Carla, who is the extension director interim person for us, she said that usually with those that the commissioners appoint a liaison. In her experience, the commissioners appoint a specific commissioner or someone as a liaison to the extension agent and that advisory board. So she asked if we would do that officially. I've been going to them, but it is up to you guys if that's the direction you want to go with it. She kind of likes things official. I like her. Are you good with it? Mhm. Yes.
Madam Chair, I move to appoint Commissioner Callie Scritchfield as the liaison to the CSU extension.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Thank you for doing that.
You bet. Happy to. So with that motion and second, would you please call the roll?
O'Hare.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Can I abstain? Do I abstain? I think I better abstain.
Madam Chair, you do not abstain.
Oh, good.
You don't have a direct financial interest in serving as a liaison to the CSU extension.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
thank you.
then I.
Aye.
Okay. Aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to business line item 11. I can start and Vicky can clean up behind me. So the court security grant for the sheriff's office. My understanding is that is a standard grant that is done, maybe didn't get done last year because of the skip between not having a grant writer, and now it's moved over to the sheriff's office, has actually written the grant. So do you want to give us a little more detail on it?
So the court security grant is from the state of Colorado, specifically designed for the judicial area. So that is what pays for part of the sheriff's deputy to stand there during heavy court docket days, to do the metal detector. They're actually, I believe, looking at some projects in Rangeley. So it affects both Rio Blanco County courts and the district courts. So the other thing that they've done is they've provided, in fact, this grant is the thing that purchased the metal detectors. It does those types of things. Judge Norton signed a letter of support for it, as well as Sheriff Mazzola.
So I would entertain a motion to approve submitting that grant, which is due tomorrow.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the grant, submitting the grant for the court security grant for sheriff's office.
I second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion? Questions? If not, roll call, please.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
O'Haron.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
All righty, moving on to resolutions. So I would entertain a motion on the first resolution.
Madam Chair, I move to approve resolution 2026-13, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, establishing the distribution of the 2024 supplemental Title I federal forest reserve funds received in 2026.
I'll second that motion.
And I'm trying to find that really quick. Vicki, do you have that in front of you to remind me of the numbers?
The dollar amount?
Yes.
You're looking
Mhm.
Fine.
I thought I had it right here and I'm not locating it. Must be going the wrong way.
It is 26,706.48. 11,127.70 will go to RE1 school district. $9,082.88 will go to RE4 school district. And then, or no, sorry, the first number. Let me start over. Road and Bridge will get the $11,127.70. RE1 school district will get $9,082.88. RE4 school district will get $6,495.90. RE3 JT school district 0.
Got it. Good job, you two. Okay, so any other discussion? So with that motion and second, would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Haron.
Aye.
Moving on to resolution number 2. Line item 2.
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2026-14. The resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, establishing the revised Board of County Commissioners meeting schedule dates for 2026.
A second.
A motion and a second on the floor to approve the revised Board of County Commissioners meeting schedule dates. So that will change our dates to the first and second Tuesdays of the month, usually.
First and third.
I'm sorry, first and third, usually, except for June and November. December. As I'm looking, which will be on the 2nd and the 4th. The purpose behind doing these is allowing us to get, for one thing is to get our work sessions ahead of the board meetings so we can separate items appropriately, have the discussion in work session, and then get to the board meeting for votes and so forth. And it allows more of us to be able to, or miss some of the other dates and so forth. So any other thoughts, ideas, questions?
And we will be starting the BOCC meetings at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock.
And not 9
Yes.
o'clock. Our work sessions will start at 9.
At 9. Yes.
And these will start in May.
Yes. Starting.
Except for June and December.
Mhm.
Okay.
We
Right.
can't make anything simple. I'm sorry, but that it just, I'm pleased that we're getting to this rate, and we will be very consistent with those dates as they are noted there. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? All righty. So motion on the floor and a second to approve that resolution 2026-4 for commissioner meeting schedule.
14, 2026.
Oh, what did I say? Sorry.
4.
Oh,
Sorry.
thank you for catching that. If you would call the roll.
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hare,
Hi.
Scritchfield.
Okay. So moving on to resolution number 3.
Madam Chair, if the clerk and recorder is comfortable, I'm happy to present this item.
Go right ahead, Rose.
Thank
Love for
you.
you to do that. So yes, you're welcome.
Absolutely. So commissioners, you may have remembered that last summer you had passed resolution 2025-25, eliminating precinct 5 and merging those electors into the existing precinct 3. Those were the boundary maps that were approved by all you and used in this past caucus process. There was a need to repass just to formalize the decision that you had already made, and that is currently in effect. And so we are memorializing it in this repassage of Resolution 2025-25 to confirm the direction and the decision that you all had already made. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them, but this would comply with statute. Following your potential repassage of this resolution, the clerk and recorder will record the resolution in the public records along with the new precinct map. So there's no question or discrepancy as to what those boundaries are. I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
I'm glad I didn't have to do that legal description.
Yep. Yep.
Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion in regards to that resolution.
Okay. Madam Chair, I move to approve the repassage of Resolution 2025-25, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, eliminating Precinct 5 and merging electors in existing Precinct 3 in accordance with Section 1-5-1013 CRS and Resolution 2000-20, and modifying existing precinct boundaries in accordance with Section 1-5-1031 CRS.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second on the floor. Any additional discussion or questions? I will just remind people, this didn't just come out of the blue. We had people from precinct 5 come and request this because they were such a small precinct. They were concerned about anonymity. That word.
We got
Thank you. Because there were just so few. And so I appreciated that. Like I say, this wasn't something that we directed. So it was to the constituents' wishes. So if you would call the question, please, ma'am.
O'Hairn,
Aye.
Overton,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Hi. All righty. We are to the point of recessing as the Board of County Commissioners and convene as the Board of Health. I don't think we have to have a
Madam
motion.
Chair, if I may, if you all will need any executive sessions for today, I just want to be mindful of the time you all might need and my timing as well. So just wanted to remind you. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Do either of you see any need for an executive session today?
Commissioner O'Huron, I know you had mentioned potentially addressing us needing some legal advice on a water issue. If you wanted to do that today, we could do that. It's up to you.
So which one would I?
It's the emergency one that says potential legal issues, but then doesn't say the rest. Not the potential litigation issues. It would be the one, it's the emergency executive session to receive legal advice on specific legal questions.
Number 7.
So if you would require that, I would ask in your motion that you add so specific legal questions regarding water issues.
Okay. So we are not recessing for the Board of County Commissioners just yet. We're on hold there. And shall we do this first then so that Rose up and we can go from there? Okay. So I would entertain a motion to go into that executive session.
Madam Chair, I move to approve going into executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024B for the purpose of receiving legal advice for specific legal questions regarding water issues.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go into executive session in regards to a water issue. And would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hairn.
Aye. Okay, so Rose, you're gonna have to help me here.
No, you're doing great.
Okay, so we need to go ahead and read this announcement 1 here
Yes,
before
please.
we move location to go into the executive session, correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
you'll say your part. I'll say my part. Then the clerk and recorder is directed to shut off the recorder. You all can move into the next room. We'll give you legal advice. And then when you come back, the recorder will be turned back on and you can make more motions.
All right. So it is April 14th, 2026, and the time is 11:41. For the record, my name is Callie Scritchfield. I am the presiding officer. As required by the open meetings law, this executive session is being electronically recorded. Also present at this executive session are the following persons. It's okay if I just name them off?
Yeah.
Sure. So Commissioner Doug Overton, Commissioner Jennifer O'Hairn, myself, Commissioner Callie Scritchfield. Let's see. Attorney Rose Puglisi and Administrator Vicky Edwards. And I think
Well,
that's all that.
Will Eric be in there or will Vicky just be able to answer those questions?
I don't know where you.
Do you want Eric to join us?
I think we need that and Eric.
Okay.
That at least.
Okay, and Thad White and Eric Jaquez will join us.
And will you have the clerk and recorder in those meetings or not?
Sure. Yes.
Typically you
Since
would.
she's gonna be our, okay, since she's gonna be our recorder now, yes. Sorry, I forgot you. Okay. I caution each participant to confine all discussion to the stated purpose of the executive session and that no formal action may occur in the executive session. If at any point in the executive session, any participant believes that the discussion is going outside of the proper scope of the executive session, please interrupt the discussion and make an objection. This is an executive session for the following purposes. And it is CRS 24-6-402-4B, conferences with the attorney for the board for the purposes of receiving legal advice on special legal questions. In this particular case, it is water issues.
This is Rose Puglisi, County Attorney. Because this executive session will involve legal advice, I'm advising the board that no recording be kept and the recorder be turned off. At this time, I will ask that the commissioners go into the executive session room, and this will not be publicly available legal advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to shut off the recording, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, we shall be back. Hopefully not too long.
So is there a separate link that I'm supposed to get on, or how does that work?
Okay. Okay. I would entertain a motion to exit executive session.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to exit the executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024B for the purpose of receiving legal advice for a specific legal question.
I second.
So we have a motion and a second to exit the executive session. Would you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye. Okay, so I hereby attest that this recording reflects the actual contents of the discussion at the executive session and has been made to satisfy the recording requirements of the open meeting law. For the record, if any person who participated in the executive session believes that any substantial discussion of any matters not included in the motion to go into executive session occurred during the executive session, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I would ask that you please state your concerns for the record at this time. Hearing none, we will give the tape to the clerk to retain for 90 days. So it is now 12:25. And we have concluded the executive session and returned to the open meeting and go to our next agenda item. And that's where we needed Chrissy's thoughts. Do we need the County Board of Commissioners, Board of Health?
I am assuming that she is not here because her due date was right around now. And so she was concerned that she might not be making it because of that, when I talked to her last week. So
Okay.
my guess is that's what's going on, and that's why we haven't heard any.
Okay, but she was planning to, she wanted it on the agenda, but we just didn't.
Yep.
She may be busy.
Yep.
And have her hands full.
Yeah.
So, okay, so with that being said, Rose, do we need to do anything with that if we don't go into that Board of Health?
I mean, typically I would have you table it, except that there was no action item. It was just an update. So at this point, I think you just state on the record that you will not be convening as the Board of Health and move on.
Okay. So that would be the case at this time. We will not convene as the Board of Health and move on to our other business, and we will jump to any conversation about proposed legislation. And you got one, I had one. Let me go back and look really quick. Vicki, does anybody else have any while I'm looking real quick, as I did once more? This might be the place that we can say, unfortunately, it's not legislative, but we did learn that we have been denied the FEMA, or the National Disaster Declaration by President Trump. The appeal has been denied. So that is final, as I
He
understand
officially
it.
turned us down.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Reese, do we have you? Do you have anything you want to go over with us, and then we can run with some others if you don't?
Well, I wish I did, but I did just want to say, as you know, a lot of bills are sitting in appropriations and finance. and the Senate is wrapping up the budget process this week. And legislative session wraps up on May 13th. So I would just, as you all are familiar with, brace yourselves for the next 2 weeks. I may be blowing up your email. Who knows what's going to drop? There's still conversations about a stream access bill. And we'll see what happens to a lot of these in appropriations, but I don't think they will live to see the day. I do need to touch base with Toby with the landfill. There is a bill that I see this morning is headed to the Senate floor. It's a reduction in regulations for, I believe it was regulation 36 regarding landfill methane emissions. So just know that one is moving forward, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I need to touch base with Toby, and it might be worth our while to engage on that bill. I don't really have any details yet because I haven't had a chance to talk with Toby, but just watch for that email from Toby. We'll consult on it and provide our recommendation to you guys and see if we want to testify on it. But it looks like it might be something that would be good in regard to regulation 36 or 37 and our landfill. But yeah, otherwise just brace for impact. That's all I had.
Thank you so much for all the good news.
You're welcome.
Okay. Did you know what the bill number was on that, Reese?
Yes, it is Senate Bill 26-101.
So, and just to kind of follow up, as Reese said, what they were telling us is, of course, that the capital is consumed by budget, and over 60 what they call orbital bills, which they have to pass individually to let them pass the full bill. That's where they go take the money out of our funds, such as the severance tax, which is what they are doing. So with that being said, one of them, I believe, and Reese, you might be able to help me with this one. I had noted that Lukens had a bill to remove $250,000 from the WOOF funding. The question was if that was going to impact the compensation funds or if they were cutting it somewhere else. Did you get any additional information on that one?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I was going to go next. So that's Amendment J034. It's similar to the amendment Lukens brought forth during special session last summer. The ag orgs are happy with it. It essentially states that $250,000 from the general fund needs to be utilized for implementing the program and supporting landowners and producers, not to fund the reintroduction of more wolves. That's pretty much the gist of it.
So it's not pulling it out. It's just saying how it should be used. Did I understand that right?
Let me clarify. I will find out.
Okay. The other thing, the good news, if there's any good news that we can come up with, is I guess it's almost been 2 weeks ago. I think it was after our last commission meeting. There was a concerted effort to pass what they called the Green Resolution, which was going to give our natural resources natural rights. And that was going to be a resolution passed in the House and the Senate that would put that on the ballot for a vote this fall. We believe that is dead at this time. We hope that is dead at this time. Have you heard anything different, Reese?
No, I was just going to echo the same. And if I might jump back, I have some language regarding Lukens' amendment.
Thank you.
It would update it's an update on a footnote to express the legislative intent that any remaining general funds should be used for only wolf management and not any introduction or reintroduction efforts of new wolves. Only gifts, grants, and donations can be used for introduction expenses.
Okay.
So I think it's a safety amendment, so to speak, that if there's anything left over once budget process wraps up, there's a big no, can't use any of that. As we know, the governor's trying to grab from the general fund to pay for this last reintroduction effort. So I hope that helps.
Yep, perfect. Thank you. Any others? House Bill 1387 is the one where they are pulling 14 million out of severance taxes. And oh, by the way, that's not just this year, that's an annual pull.
They're taking it from us from here on.
Yep. How can they do it for future? I mean, this year would be one thing, but the rest of it really is frustrating.
What's frustrating is they keep attacking the source of that money and then taking the money.
Yeah. All right, I just have to say it.
Madam Chair, if I can say, they can't bind a future legislature. So while they might say it's for future, it would have to come before the legislature each year to be approved.
Thank you. So how can we be proactive on that?
I think that's a whole other conversation, maybe a workshop or a work session, but it sounds like Grace is doing a really great job, and that Lucan's footnote is only a statement, basically, not binding on anybody, although there will not be any extra general fund to spare, I don't believe. But yeah, I'm happy we can, we could take up lots of time today talking about that, but I'm happy to kind of help with Reese and strategize with you all on future.
Yeah, I think that would be very, very helpful. That's big to us. So, okay, if there isn't anything else that we need on the discussion of legislation, we will move on to other business, the discussion of removing term limits for the following elected offices, which is assessor, clerk and recorder, Board of County Commissioners, and treasurer. So I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on those. Who would like to start?
I think that we should do away with them because we're having a hard time getting people to apply for those positions. Because I think it's because they're term limited, and why would you put yourself out there for 8 years and then be out of a job?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, out of a career, and then set yourself back. I think we have some young people that are wanting to do this. They are looking down the road and are discouraged because of the term limits. And it's we get somebody in there that is the community likes, they're doing a good job, and they have to go because of term limits. If we don't like them, we can vote them out. So I'm pushing to get this on the ballot.
Any additional?
I've just heard the same thing from people. I've had a few people approach me in Rangeley, which I will be encouraging them to come and speak at our next public hearing or our public hearing, because we will have one of those on either side of the county for people to come and give their input. But a lot of it is that younger generation. I mean, they're not ready to retire anytime soon, and 8 years comes and goes in a hurry. I mean, I'm working on my 5th year, and as a commissioner, and it's just flown by. So I'm in support of it. The point made earlier, especially, like the clerk and recorder, assessor, treasurer, they have to go through a lot of training.
Still not involved.
And yeah, I mean, you're getting ready to do your second term, and it takes years to, I think about the assessor and how, oh my is right. And so I think that especially in our smaller communities, we're a frontier county, We don't have the population to really be going for these positions. It was one that I took very seriously when I put my name in the hat. So, knowing that I would be at retirement age when I'm done. So I still will have to work when I'm done. So that's my 2 cents.
And the only thing I would say is just that I'm hearing it from around multiple. I mean, I've been approached by it numerous times from both ends of county, real concerns about that. So that's why we brought it up. So there will be hearings. We will open it up for actual hearings at the next meeting in Rangeley and then back here the next meeting here. So we'll actually have a hearing before we make any final decisions. So please let people know. They're welcome to come in and give us their thoughts and concerns. All righty. So no decision on that one, if I'm not mistaken. So let's move on to other business number 3. The discussion of purchase of 2 new 3/4 ton trucks for fleet. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah. So just a discussion on looking to purchase 2 3/4 ton pickup trucks, 4-door. One will go to the solid waste landfill and one will be leased by facilities.
So both be leased options.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how the landfill's gonna work theirs, but the landfill is paying for theirs. It wouldn't come out of the budget. It would come out of landfill budget.
But you'd want to do the same internal lease so that you could replace it the same way that we do the others. So even if it comes out of their budget, it should be the same
Yes,
setup.
yes.
And
Landfill and fleet.
Well, one is for the landfill, one is for facility.
Facility, okay.
oh,
okay,
facility,
sorry.
yeah,
Now, this is in addition to the ones we did last time, right?
Yes.
that's what I was gonna ask. So, we did 2. These are 2 new ones, all
For the
within the budget.
Oh, yeah, yes,
And for the same entities,
yes.
for the same departments.
So they're each getting 2 new trucks. But the first set that you approved already is the smaller truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we knew that they both needed these, just did them at different times.
Yes.
And remind me again why landfill needs, because you said they already received one smaller
Yeah.
and now they want another one. Help me understand that.
So they kind of have 2, like, because the crew commutes from Meeker to the landfill daily and back and forth. So the first one is more of their commuter. Their current commuter is pretty much done. It's over 200,000. It's way older than 10 years. And then they have a truck that they use out there at the landfill for landfill stuff. And so that one will live at the landfill and that'll be the 3/4 ton. The smaller pickup is going to be their commuter. So, and
That hauls the fuel and water and
The bigger
about
one.
anything that.
That needs to be transferred out there.
Yeah.
That won't fit in the little one.
so, and the one that they're currently have out there is very well used. It's always been the dumping ground. For
More ways than one.
for fleet's older vehicles. So as they come out of Road and Bridge and other services, landfills gotten them. And so I feel they're due for due. So
Well, the question I would have, so thinking about whether it's lease or not, it sounds like it's gonna be pretty localized, so it's not gonna get a lot of miles on it. They might be pretty hard miles, but it's not gonna get a lot of miles on it. So does that make sense to do the lease? I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it makes sense, but I disagree. It will get a lot of miles because it's going to get more miles, I mean, every day,
well,
20.
but one of them
Some
will live
miles.
out there most of the time. It might commute back and forth like one day out of the week if there's a heavy load that you can go out there. But so you're right. It's not going to get a lot of miles, but the lease is the 36,000 or the 3 years.
Right.
So, which would actually, kind of benefit because if there's very low mileage after that 3 years, when you go to resell, your resell is going to be.
Yeah, see, we're looking at pennies per mile. not necessarily the total thing. So if you have a nicer truck to trade in, you're gonna get
More. Okay, so we have that down as just as a discussion. Do we need to
So, yep.
move on it or just
No,
discussion?
just a
Okay.
discussion, just so
Okay.
if you guys had any questions. I currently have it out for bid right now. The bid is due on the 20th.
Okay,
And so I will try to get it in for approval, for your approval on the 28th, I think. Are we having a meeting on the 28th?
yes,
Or, yeah,
We are.
in Rangeland? So
yes.
that'll be the official approval.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yes, you are.
Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope you can find a good buy on. Okay, all righty. So,
That's it.
okay, we are ready to go to other business number 4, road and bridge update.
March 2026 road and bridge update. We hauled gravel in Rangeley. Hauled the blade to the landfill after getting worked on. Mowed County Road 8, replaced cattle guard on County Road 12. Removed a tree on County Road 38 that was fixing to fall on the road and we didn't want the phone call, so we just took it out.
Good job.
Cleaned the bar ditch plant center. It always fills up with dirt every year. Played County Road 54, plowed snow. We're down plow trucks, removed the wings off of the blades. Opened County Road 8 and 17 up. Hauled gravel to County Road 82. Hauled fill material to County Road 143. Gravel to County Road 54. Hauled gravel to County Road 17. Trimmed brush on County Road 17. Removed a tree on County Road 4 that was gonna fall on the road as well. We cleaned all the cattle guards on County Road 9. We had a pipeline safety class. Installed 2 culverts on County Road 17. We replaced the culvert that was damaged during the fire for PARs. Cleaned cattle guards on County Road 22. And worked some new cattle guard blocks. In Rangeley, we spot gravel 122. Pulled shoulders, getting ready for mag on 27, 116, 23, 102, 265, and 122. Did crack patching, County Road 1 and 2. We finished the Johnson Draw reclaim gravel pit. Installed 2 culverts on County Road 2. Did mag prep. Currently doing mag down there right now, and I have 1 road left. We're just thinking range, so hoping to be done this week.
Does moisture hurt your magging?
Oh, they're magging today.
Yeah, that's it. Probably could help
It helped.
with the magging.
We can haul less water.
I like it. Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks. All righty, then moving to county commissioner updates. I think we're gonna be almost done in time to start the next meeting. Who would like to go first?
I can if you'd like.
Go ahead.
I've attended weekly AGNC legislation meetings. County Road 77 bridge meetings. Directors meetings, special meetings, WUI meetings. We visited the EWP sites on the landfill and the County Road 33 that we're going to be talking about here a little bit later. And I've attended the Wolf Coalition meetings.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so I've attended multiple CCI meetings that include the negotiations that we're doing with the governor's office, our advocates, CCI and CHSDA on the bill that we're proposing or wanting to propose on the, what they're calling, it's not reorganization. She just emailed me and put that in there, but we're calling it
Something.
it sounds better than reorg. Let me say that much. So we're getting very close to a bill. We actually have a meeting this afternoon to go over what's potentially going to be in that bill. So, I've attended work sessions, special meetings. I had a couple of Northwest TPR meetings, one being the MMOF. I sit on that committee on approving funding for MMOF funds. So MMOF are funds that actually are up on the chopping block this legislative session. It was a funding source for communities in your TPRs where you could put in a project for it has to do with transportation. So whether like, for example, Routt County did a school zone where they put in more sidewalks for kids going to and from school across a busy intersection that could have put kids at risk. So that safety measure, these are funds that they had put a bill in years ago for this funding through CDOT. And so that's on the chopping block. We still have money left over in Northwest TPR. And so we had another project put in for that. I've met with the public health director. I've met with the human services director. I had a CTSI board meeting. I met with the administrator on a couple of occasions and had a NACO public lands meeting last week. And they said that another disbursement with SRS funds is coming out again. I don't remember the date, and I wrote myself a note and I forgot it. That we should be seeing that. We are considered a 1908. We are designated as 1908. So I'm not sure if we're going to get those funds because we are not SRS designated. We are 1908. And one of the conversations that was had during this public lands meeting is they are actually going to open that up so that if we wanted to redesignate ourselves back to SRS and not 1908, we could do that because the Forestry Service is opening that back up this year, I believe. Again, I wrote myself notes and I can't remember if it's this year or next year, but I think we should, as a board, be looking into both of those designations and figuring out which one we truly want. We're really going to get the best bang for our buck. I did meet with, now that we're part of the public lands center, I did meet with them while I was in DC and asked, what would it all entail for us to change? Would it be feasible? They said they would help us with that. So if we wanted Gregory to come and do a presentation to us on both of those, we would probably have to have him do a little bit of historical digging. And so we'd probably get with you on why we changed it over many, many years ago from SRS to 1908. And so I know Gregory and I had that conversation while I was in DC in February. So if you guys want me to get a hold of Gregory and see if that's something he can do for us in maybe this summer sometime, sitting us down and having a work session with us and explaining both of those, and he could get the historical data for us and pull it all together and really let us know which is the wise decision. Now that we're starting to see receipts again, that's the reason they did the 1908 was because of those receipts, but we really haven't seen receipts and that they're designating off a past history is my understanding of what was being sold. So anyway, if you guys would like me to, I could reach out to Gregory and pull something together for us.
I'd like to learn what the difference is between the two of them.
Okay. And he could be that person to help us with that. I
We can
think.
coordinate with Lisa, make sure Lisa's here for that in person. It would be great.
Okay. I'll get in touch with
Do you
him.
think he would come in person or is he just Zoom in?
least is here in person is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's this
Okay.
Gregory kid.
I can ask him. I know
It's okay for Zoom.
yeah, I guess it depends on his schedule, because I know he's done some in-person
Oh, he
ones
does?
with some people.
Okay.
I'll ask him
Yeah.
and see what he says. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I will make mine quickly. We have, or I have spent a little time on the extension director position. The good news is, and they say that they have not had the applicants anywhere across the state in quite a while like we did. We had 16 applicants for this extension director, and 8 of them were qualified. And they said that just never happens. And I will tell you, and then we had to whittle it down to they only wanted 2 or 3 for interviewing. We finally got it down to 4. I mean, we've got some good candidates. So exciting on that. It will happen next Monday. So there is the state team, which I am a part of, and then they will have the local team. And so definitely the 4 that we approved today, and then they're looking for a handful of other folks to join on that as well. I would be interested if anybody has any ideas of someone who is not so I mean, we have good ag representation, but like small landowner or, any other kind of needs that we know of that extension could help with, have somebody on there with that. So, so I know at least Alden from Rangeley will be on there. We need to find a couple of other folks to Rangeley. It seems like we did, but I can't remember who I recommended. So anyway, we'll need to get that done right away. So any names in the next day or so. Went on the EWP tour, which we'll have more of that conversation this afternoon. So the Emergency Watershed Protection Plan looked at what they're considering on County Road 33, as well as on the old landfill. And then attended the CED, the SEDS meeting from Associated Governments of Northwest Colorado, and I can't remember what CED stand for. Community Economic Development.
Yeah.
Okay. They have to do a plan every 5 years. They will be doing a survey. And so I really want, when they send that survey out, I would really like to get that out as far and wide to the community as we possibly can. And then just meetings. Just a few of them are AGNC, CCI, and those are the typical legislative ones that I participate in. And then, of course, the Wolf Coalition meetings, which I don't want to forget. It is May 6th, 5 and 6. May 6th and 7th in Grand Junction is the CPW Commission meeting, and we need lots of people to show up. They didn't think that 400 people in the room last time spoke loud enough. So I think we show up with twice that this time. I think, and then that evening of the 6th, between the 2 days, they are going to have I can't remember what they called it. But one of the cool things is that's where Commissioner Marie Haskett from CPW, she retired, well, she was term limited or not welcome back from the commissioner, from the governor. But they will present her with her award that they always do with those people. She has chosen not to accept it at the CPW meeting. She's going to do it at this evening thing because of the fiasco that CPW is, the commission is in right now. So I would encourage anybody and everybody from Meeker to attend. If nothing else, just to recognize her and the work she put in there. And then the energy symposium is tomorrow and the next day. So at least I am going to that one, as well as Club 20 is the Friday and Saturday. So we will just continue with meetings. So I will end there. Anything else? If not, we are going to be able to adjourn with 3 minutes in between our meetings. So I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the Board of County Commissioner meeting at 12:58.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second on the floor to adjourn. Would you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Wonderful. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm. Okay, so we will see anybody later.